Well, hey, Facebook Live friends. We are here with Matt from Christ Church. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for
Man,
the opportunity.
oh yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. Matt and I were talking just a second ago before going live and find out he's in Illinois and we're both bow hunters. So we might get off topic a little bit talking bow hunting here in a bit. And you're going after an elk. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the plan this fall, headed to Colorado. So
Oh man, the elk with a
gotta get in
bow.
shape. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're
So
also both in the starting to run club. So
yeah, starting more like walking fast.
there
But
you go.
uh,
I am in that club as well. Not that we enjoy running, but we're trying to get in shape. But man, let's jump into Easter because you and I were chatting back and forth on Facebook. Your church had gone through our Rethinking Easter, and then you were just giving me an update. So I don't want to start with like kind of where you ended up. I want to go back about 6 weeks and
yeah,
kind of start with your invitation plan and your tickets and then your baptism you were telling me a little bit about. So just get me started. What did you guys start doing about 6 weeks ago leading up to Easter?
yeah. Well, if it's okay, I'd like to take you back to January 1st, which was a
Okay. Yeah.
Sunday. We began a teaching series that we called "Why Not Now," and we spent
Hmm.
5 weeks walking through what we believe about baptism. And we ended January on January 29th with a baptism weekend. We celebrated at all of our locations, people taking steps of faith, and really that led us into being online and running through my Facebook timeline and seeing the Rethinking Easter um, logo on my desktop, and so I clicked it and kind of went from there. Registered, got an account, hopped on, and I really wanted to watch the last video, but you said not to watch the last video, and so I listened and I started with video one and went on from there. But yeah, so it was really cool. We spent the beginning of the year really talking about the inside, where's your heart, and then we really
Hmm.
pushed into that Easter invite season with, hey, God's called us to love other people. And so we really focused on Second
Yeah.
Corinthians 2, where Paul says, because we have this hope, we are very bold. And so we really
Hmm.
understood that our boldness comes from the hope we have in Christ. And that really pushed right into the invite season. So it was pretty incredible.
Dude, that's awesome. Such a cool strategy. I love too how it's fueled by God's word, and that's really cool. So starting kind of in the beginning of the year, and that's really in church marketing university and a social church, we try to get churches to think bigger picture because oftentimes we get so focused on an event. Sometimes we think that's the goal. And in that Rethinking Easter series that you guys went through, we really talk about the goal is not just that one event, it's that ongoing discipleship. And you guys seemed like you really picked up on that. And man, I just loved how you weaved it into what you were doing. And it sounds like now, even talking more, you get that started a journey even way back at the beginning of the year.
Well,
Um,
yeah, you guys used a phrase that I really latched onto. How do we move from big event to big impact? Because
hmm,
quite honestly, if we have a lot of people at an event and then we don't resource them, we don't allow them to take a next step, then we've really only gone halfway. And
yeah,
so with that in mind, and then we were able to get up and, watching video one, you said, hey, print some cards. They don't have to be expensive. They can be simple. And that's really exactly what we did. We printed a bunch of these cards. We put "Come as you are" on the front of them. And then we just
cool.
put exactly what you said to put on the back, all of our locations, all of our times, all of that stuff. And what was really incredible is that weekend that we launched them, we put them on every chair, just like the video said, kind of made them the golden ticket. And we were able to watch as a friend baptize a friend that weekend. So I was able to get up on stage and just say, one invitation can help change a life.
Yeah.
We just experienced it. And so who are you going to bring with you? And so weaving all of that together, of course it was God doing that, but with the tools that were given through the webinars and through the videos and through all the resources, man, it connected everything for us. It was incredible.
Man, so let's dive into that. So you mentioned friends baptizing friends, and you
Yeah.
did that the same week you started with the invite cards. So walk me through what was that? What did that look like? I mean, I think I have an idea, but go a little bit in deeper what that looked like. The friends baptizing friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So every weekend for the last 2 years, we've played a baptism video at the end of every one of our worship services. And
Wow.
typically, it's a video of a past baptism that we've had the week before. And we really stumbled across it through some friends of ours that were doing it at another church, and we kind of adapted it for us. And what we learned was that what's celebrated is what's replicated.
Yeah.
And so we've been playing this baptism video for 2 years. So in 24 months, we've seen 243 people give their life to Jesus.
Wow.
And so it's so incredible to see what God's doing. So to be able to say it's a win for us on our church staff if we're not the ones baptizing people,
Hmm.
like it's a win. It's a win when a life group leader or a friend is baptizing a friend.
Yeah.
And so the simplicity of get there, and I'll never forget it. This lady named Bridget was baptized in our church by her friend Becky,
Hmm.
and so we got to experience that in our one of our services. And then I was able to get up and say, "Hey, this is exactly what it's all about." She invited her to Christ Church 6 weeks ago, and
Wow.
she's led her to Jesus, and she's baptizing her. And so, yeah, it was really just thinking through the lenses of how can we tell stories of friends that have invited friends that have led to life change. And
Yeah.
so for 6 weeks in a row, we told story after story after story. And, we would check in with our key core people and say, "Hey, are you inviting people?" And they'd say, "Yeah, we've handed out 20 of these. We're going to empty chairs in our auditorium and stealing these things because you only let us have one." and
Yeah.
uh, and we're passing them out. And man, it was just the impact was just incredible.
I love that. So, man, so you're having kind of the life change right in front of you on the baptism. Then you're sharing stories as well. And then on every seat you have one card, right? Is that
Yeah.
that was kind of the idea. So you guys went with the one card approach.
Mm-hmm.
And then you challenge people out of the scripture that the boldness that we're called to from the Apostle Paul is kind of our hope. And then charging the people, okay, so you're seeing the life change, you're seeing the difference one invitation can make. So now go invite somebody. So did the
Yeah.
people seem to get pretty fired up?
Man, they were geared up about it. To
Hmm.
hear stories of people inviting people, it's so encouraging. But here's the thing too, and you shared this in one of your videos that we have to celebrate what we want again replicated. And so
Hmm.
we've got to celebrate on all of our platforms, whether it's socially, whether it's on stage on the weekends, whatever that is. We've got to
Yeah.
celebrate what we want people to do. And so, and of course, we had key people, our lead guy, our lead key staff members, all of our campus pastors from all our locations. We had them filming, content for social platforms, and we were putting it out there
Hmm.
like crazy. And one of the conversations that I had with one of I would call our core team, he said, I asked him, I said, "Are you inviting people?" And he said, "Well, how can I not? You've told me to for 5 weeks in a row." And I'm like, "Well, that's true." But another thing that we did as well was we set the expectation to our staff. We've got 14 people on staff. We set the expectation that we've got to lead the charge in this. So
Yeah.
who are we inviting? And I'll never forget, I was at home on the weekend and I was getting ready to pass 2,000 of these out on the weekend. And my wife said, "Hey, have you invited anybody?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready to." She's like, she's like, "No, seriously, our neighbor's outside. You need to go ask him." And I thought, no, I tell people to do that, right? Like it was a nerve wracking experience. And so I grabbed my 2-year-old daughter because she's the buffer, and we went outside
Uh-huh.
and I said, "Hey, man, I don't know what you think about Jesus. I don't know if you have a church, but I'd love for you to come on Easter." And I handed him one of these things, and then he showed up, and
That's awesome.
it was incredible. But honestly, the resources from Social Church and you really were the game changer for us.
Man, that's so cool. And I love what you did for that 5 weeks is that because a lot of churches sometimes they get so many ideas that their promotion is all over the place. And I think for some churches, just getting that simplicity of this is what we're going to do, and we're going to repeat it over and over again, and the leadership is going to lead by example, and this is what we're going to do, and that focus and that simplicity, that there is a lot of power to that. And to me, that's what I'm hearing in your story, and from your church experience, is like when you guys all just honed in and said, we're all buying into this, the leadership's going to lead the way, this is what we're going to do as a church, then that's what you did. Sometimes I feel like churches get so broad in their ideas and they have all these things that they really don't ever implement any of them. And so that's cool to see the power of focus for you guys. Man, those stories are just awesome.
So I'll give you just a quick rundown of our service flow and how we weave this in. So we begin with our campus guys getting up on the weekend after the first song. They welcome all of our guests. We've got a process that we use for that we say the same information every weekend. But that 3 minutes is geared toward guests only. And then we go right into our teaching time. We're pretty locked in on one of our campuses because that's the campus we stream to all of our locations at. So we're pretty locked in.
Gotcha.
And then long story short, at the end, our campus guys got up, and this was the main point of communication every weekend. We held a pause on everything else we would communicate except this, and which is again what we were told to do in the content that you guys provided.
Yeah, I love that because sometimes churches are announcing 15 different things and there's no focus there. So let's jump over to Easter weekend, because I think from talking with you guys have multiple campuses going on. But how did you then take it from, okay, now we have visitors coming, to your contact card and follow-up strategy? Walk me through that, because you guys did some really cool things on that front as well.
Yeah, so we what we did on the weekend, Easter weekend, was our campus guys got up and we took that advantage of that first 3 minutes of their interaction with guests, and we just asked, hey, if this is your first weekend at our church, we'd love for you to take out your smartphone or your phone and text Easter 17 to 555-888, and we'd love to buy you a cup of coffee at one of our favorite places. And so they did that, and they were prompted to fill out a connection card digitally, or they were reminded about filling out the connection card on their seat. Because again,
okay, real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, Matt, on that. So they text in Easter 17 to your number, and then they get an auto reply. Is that what I'm understanding? So comes back a text that says, fill out either a connect card digitally or fill out the one on your seat and we'll buy you a cup of coffee. Is that kind of how it went?
Yeah. So basically we said text Easter 17 to 555-888. They did that. They get an automatic reply that says, hey, thanks for being here this Easter. Take a minute and fill out the connection card in your bulletin or fill out the digital one here. And then we said, we'd love to buy you a cup of coffee. And it was just a real simple promo code that, was good for 7 days. They could go to one of the greatest places and grab a cup of coffee. And it was real simple. And really, because honestly, if we have a guest come and we get no information from them, then we've only gone halfway. Because if we don't get their information, we can't follow up with a process. We kind of call ourselves geeks about follow-up processes. And so that's one of the things that we're really strict on with making sure happens on Monday morning. We've got a 6-step process. I won't go into detail, but it's a big deal for us, 52 weeks of the year. And so we knew that if they just came and they never gave us any info, then we could never call them back for a second date, if you will. I mean, so we knew we needed their information, and we thought, hey, $3 for a cup of coffee, worth it. And so we gave away hundreds of cups of coffee that weekend, but it was worth it. So
real quick on that, like how many people ended up filling out a connection card, either digitally or in person? Because we hear from pastors all the time. They're like, it's so hard for people. They'll never fill out the connect card. Did it work for you guys?
Yeah, it did. It worked big time, more than I ever would have imagined. We had over 260 new people fill out content. So we were able to, again, throw them into a process. And so by them giving us their phone number, on Monday at noon, they received a real quick, hey, we hope you enjoyed that cup of coffee. Check out a message from our lead guy. And it was just a real quick link to a Vimeo video. If they have a smartphone, then the video never even navigated away from Messenger. So they were able to play it right in Messenger, which I think is key. And then they just watched a real quick 26-second clip from our lead guy. Again, keeping it short.
Yeah.
Because we knew we were hitting them during lunch break. And all he said was, hey, thanks for coming to Easter. We hope you enjoy that cup of coffee.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about our church, here's how you do that. We'd love for you to maybe sign up for what we call Starting Point next weekend. And so,
cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We had well over 90% people watch that video.
Wow.
Which is incredible.
So Monday at noon, you then text them back because now you have their number, so you can get a hold of them. You text them back Monday at noon with a short video from your lead pastor.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So right there on their phone, they can watch it on their lunch break. And then you're saying that 90% of those people watch that video. And in the video, you're inviting them back to that next step, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. We've got to make clear what the next step is. And they were able to sign up there, right, for what we call Starting Point. Real simple. But it made a huge impact, I believe. Of course, we'll see what it led to this weekend. But yeah, we were able to get into not only do the texting follow-up process, but also do our tried and true 52-week a year process, which, is in full swing. So
wait, I want to make sure I get this right. You guys, do I understand like your follow-up process when somebody is a guest? Do you have 52 weeks worth of follow-up? Did I hear that right?
No.
Do that. You do six steps every.
Yes. Yep. 6 steps, 52 weeks a year. We added this one, of course, for Easter. We'll probably, we're really thinking about doing it again on Mother's Day because we had such a huge impact with it. And then probably Christmas. So we're already starting to think, okay, we did this well, but how can we go from good to great with this? Like, what can we tweak to make this better? So we've got a meeting with our campus guys and a few of our follow-up process team on May 2nd to throw it all on the whiteboard and say, what can we make better? So, yeah, we only had one person unsubscribe too, which is really important to me because I think there's something it's really annoying about getting message after message after message. Like, I'll give you my phone number for a cup of coffee, but if you text me 40 times, I'm out. And so we were really cautious with that. We didn't want to overwhelm people, but we wanted to take advantage of that first 36 hours that we had with them. So.
Yeah. Man, that is so cool and such a powerful strategy. And I think, it'll be cool to see. I know we're in that in between time between Easter and in that next week when we're filming this, but it'll be neat to see. But if nothing else, what's awesome is for you guys as the leadership of the church, I feel like you can just be like, man, we did everything we could. If now people don't come back, if they don't take that next step, you got to feel good as a leader in your church, like, hey, we did everything we possibly could to help this person take that next step. Obviously, at some point they have to take it, but you guys have been so thorough and so strategic and so smart. And I really feel like God will honor that, man, and that will really help people because everything in the world is fighting against them growing spiritually. And so when the church is smart like that, I think it's really going to make a huge difference from you guys. So that's so cool. So anything else in this whole process? I know we touched on the promotion and the invite strategy on the front end, what you guys did on the day of, and what you guys are doing now the week of follow-up. But anything else that was kind of came out of this whole deal for you guys?
Really just, one of the things that was said during one of the training videos was essentially that Monday is as equally as important as Sunday. I think a lot of times we lose that thought process. A lot of times we push towards a really big, high impact weekend, and then Monday, like we hit kind of pause, like we've got the Easter hangover, if you will, and it's like, man, I came in Monday morning early because I knew the intense overload we'd have, but I also knew that if we didn't take advantage of it, we could lose them. And so I guess
Yeah.
again, I think that was the game changer for us was realizing that Monday is equally as important as Sunday. And so I really believe that God will honor that and that people will take next steps because of the resources that you guys provided.
Yeah, dude, that's so important. And I think the mistake a lot of churches, and I've been in like the mega church world, is sometimes we spend so much on that event, time, money, energy. Everybody's pooped on that next Monday. Everybody's
Yeah.
ready to go on vacation, or they are leaving just because there's no energy left in the tank. And so
Mm-hmm.
again, when your mindset shifts from that big event to big impact, you realize, man, we've got to save some energy, because I mean, that
Yeah.
follow up is no wonder, people come to the event and don't come back, is because we're all gone we're all pooped. And so, man, that's
Yeah.
a really important principle that you guys picked up on. Also, did I hear, and I know we were chatting back and forth, are you guys doing a retargeting strategy on social media as well with that contact information?
Yeah. So one of the videos you guys posted Monday was a way to take those phone numbers and target people
Yeah.
on social platforms. And so we did take advantage of that. And that was kind of another game changer, something that we really never even thought about. One of the things that I was concerned about was our social platforms kind of going on pause, because we're not a mega church. We are we're a growing church, but we're not in a position where we have a full-time social person on our
Right.
team. And so we've got multiple people that lead the way in that, which is great. But again, the Monday after Easter, it's kind of a difficult day. So the resource that was provided about thanking volunteers was really huge. We had 190 volunteers serving from 6 a.m. to noon that day across all of
Wow.
our locations. So we really did a good thing this week with saying thanks. We're going to do that again this weekend. And one of the things that we learned as well with these cards was that people want them all year long. That was kind of oblivious to me, I guess. I was unaware of that, but a lot of people have asked, "Hey, can we have these just on the weekends?" And so we're going to
Awesome.
put a couple thousand of these out at all of our locations this weekend in different spots,
Awesome.
and just say, "Hey, grab one of the many colors. We went with the summer colors, and grab one and put it in your purse, put it in your wallet, put it somewhere, and be thinking about who you can bring with you." One of the things that our lead guy says all the time is we've got to create environments where people want to invite people.
Mm.
And so, I'll give kudos to our media team, our worship team, all those people who made it an event that people wanted to be at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, and that's so smart. That's something that we didn't even put in our material, but the idea is, if you're doing such a good job leading to this next week after Easter, you can probably be expecting that you have a lot of people who God's done a lot in their life over the last week. And so they're
Yeah.
perfect opportunities to start taking those cards now and
Yeah.
being like, man, God's done so much in my life. Come check out this church. And so
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that till you said, like, put the cards out this week too.
Yeah.
And
So we paid the extra money to get them here as quick as possible,
yeah,
because we knew that if you don't have them this weekend, you're not missing the bank, but you are missing a key window of being able to say, "Hey, thanks." We had, we almost doubled our weekend average attendance in one
wow.
weekend, and so it's like we've got to take the next step here. And one of the things that was just incredible for me as a minister is seeing that people who call Christ Church their church every weekend were walking out in the parking lot and seeing that every parking lot spot was full. So they're backing
Wow.
out their cars, driving away to park on the street so guests can park. I mean, when you
How
get that
cool.
idea of other people first embedded in your core team, it's a game changer. And so we want to take full advantage of the things we've learned through the social church platform, and see what we can continue to do.
Man, that is so cool, Matt. This has been so much fun, and I can tell that God's up to something at your church, and it's
Yeah.
neat to see. And this is for us at Social Church and Church Marketing University. It's so cool to be able to to help local churches just think like and resource you guys, because this is why we do what we do, is to hear these stories back and just to hear churches just kind of catching fire in this vision of, man, we can impact our communities. And so, man, it's a joy to be able to hear your story. And man, keep up the good work. And we're gonna have to go elk hunting. I can already tell.
Hey,
we'd have a blast. So I'm gonna be hitting you up, begging you to be able to come along with you.
Hey man, I'll pick you up. I'll be driving past you August 31st. So, but man, thanks again.
All right.
Thanks again.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
it.
This has been a joy and a pleasure. And let me just say this too, for when we get off here, when you get a chance later today, if you could put a link to like your website and maybe your couple social profiles down in the comments for this video. That way, if churches are watching this on the replay and they kind of want to go check out your church, learn more about you guys, even reach out, connect with you if they have any questions. If you could just do that, that would be a huge benefit, I think, to a lot of people watching the replay. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great. Can do.
All right, man. God bless. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.